Hello everyone, and welcome to a video that's been in works for like months, it feels like. At least like with the thought process, because a top 10 list is actually quite challenging. So you're gonna get, as of right now, my top 10 horror favorites. Subject to change as new things come out, or I remember movies. That was the frustrating thing, was what movies do I actually like? What movies have I seen? So I took months to compile a list and then decided to break it down from there. This list isn't going to be in any particular order, but I do want to start out with a honorable mention. Now, this honorable mention isn't a horror movie, it is a documentary. The reason this is an honorable mention is horror movies don't really give me nightmares. However, this movie did, this documentary did. It's called Jesus Camp, and it's about evangelical children at summer camp and kind of their experience and how they're being raised. It is personally terrifying, the indoctrination and shit that, yeah, it's watch it if you want. So that's my honorable mention. Now we're gonna get into my top 10 list. As you see, there's art being created before you. This is a movie I've reviewed in the past called Crimson Peak. But I've been wanting to do a fan art of it, and I was like, hey, you know what? This is kind of a really good time. Let's do the fan art. It's on the top 10 list. So you got Crimson Peak, and if you want my thoughts on that, you can go check out my review, linked above somewhere about now. And actually, a lot of these I have reviewed. Most of these I've reviewed. So we're just gonna kind of make this easy, and if you want to go check out my thoughts, you can go check out the video. Some of them are older, not as good as quality as I can do now, but you know, learning, everything gets better, right? So the next movie I'm going to talk about is called Martyrs. It is another one that I did a original versus US remake review on. You can check that out at the link above in the corner as well. Long story short, don't watch the American version, watch the French one. It is a movie when people go, what horror movies do you recommend? It is one of the things that pops into my head every time. I absolutely love how they did this movie. I'm gonna throw in one I haven't reviewed on my YouTube channel, and that is gonna be the It movies, and I'm including all three of them because they are all good in their own right, definitely very different from one another, but I really like the Pennywise character. I like what Stephen King did with the story, at least what was adapted into the movies, because there are parts of the book that just like, yeah, no, you shouldn't have done that, but it's what happened when he wrote that book. It was very different times. So the It franchise in general is on my top 10 list. Then we have Bram Stoker's Dracula, which definitely go watch that movie whether you like horror movies or not. It's just a well done love classic story of greatness. And if you want to hear further thoughts, check out that video as well. Next we have The Thing. Oh my god, the practical effects in this movie are freaking awesome. This movie I watched for the first time 2019. When did I review it? I think I reviewed it for 31 Days of Horror 2019. So that was the first time I watched it, and I absolutely love the movie. I've actually watched it one other time since then. Don't judge me. But I recommend that one as well. I guess I actually recommend watching all of these movies because they're all amazing. I guess I should be saying like what out of what number. So 6 out of 10 in no particular order is Silence of the Lambs. This is a classic movie in my opinion, and it shaped a lot of aspects of my life. Growing up after I saw it, and reading books and getting into serial killers, like I guess I'm kind of cliche for the time period when it came out. I wasn't the only one. I still have like all my serial killer books. I haven't read them in many years. I don't know why I still have them, but I do. So 7 out of 10 is Train to Busan. Not one I reviewed. This is, I believe it was Korean? South Korea? I believe this was a Korean movie. Don't hate me if I'm wrong. It is a zombie movie, and it is a beautiful story. I mean, there's zombies and gore and shit, but the character development and growth and how things were shot and the interactions, it was just all around, this movie was brilliantly executed. I can't think of a flaw. I have never reviewed it, but I've been wanting to, and I don't know, I haven't. But definitely put that on your must-watch list, especially if you like the zombie genre. Do it! 8 out of 10 is Pan's Labyrinth. This one's technically not a horror movie. I believe it was drama fantasy, but there's some horror elements to it, like a lot. So I count it as a horror movie. It's a Del Toro movie. That's like all you really need to know, and it's amazing. I also have done a review on that one, so check out the link above for my thoughts on it. Next is Suspiria, another one I have reviewed. The remake. I haven't seen the original yet. I've been wanting to, but I can't really find an affordable copy that I'm okay paying for. So one day it'll happen when the universe says it's time. But I really like the remake with Tilda Swinton. It's definitely a bizarre movie. It's from the 70s, and they did a really good job adapting it, but also holding true to a lot of the film elements of that time, in my opinion. Last, and of course not least, you're probably not going to be surprised this is on this list if you've been following my channel for a while, but 13 Ghosts, not the original black and white one, but the one from 2000s, kind of childhood obsession, definitely sparked a lot of thoughts and interest and shifted me as a creative person and a movie viewer. I do have that one as a review if you want to hear my thoughts on it, but as you probably know, I've been doing monthly series focusing on the ghosts and whatnot, and it's getting to be the end of it. However, that doesn't mean this movie's still not amazing, and it has to be on this list because of how long I've loved this movie. I have no issues rewatching it 20 years later. It's just it shaped me, and a lot of these movies in different ways shaped me as an artist or were homage to something that shaped me personally. So there's a super simplified top 10 horror list. I didn't want to make this video too long because sometimes they get boring, so I wanted to make it fast, and then if you did want to hear my thoughts, you can go click on the individual videos. I will also put them in the description box below, and a playlist at the end of this video. If you do want to see more things like this top 10 list, let me know. If you want me to go into more detail of each movie, also let me know. If I haven't reviewed one of the movies on this list and you want a more in-depth thought on it, also let me know. Some closing thoughts, I guess, really quick. 2020 has been a cluster of everything. You've got some good things happening, some bad things happening, craziness, change, progression, conflict. I don't even know. How is this year gonna shape horror movies when we're all living in a horror dystopia? That is my question to end for 2020. I hope you don't mind it. I don't really want to end on a sad, sour note, but that's totally what's happening. Except for this part. Thank you to everyone who has continued to support my channel through the year, or the years at this point. Thank you to my patrons. Your support is always appreciated. I really thank you. It keeps me going. Thank you so much for that support. As well as those who comment here and who have subscribed and interact with me on my socials or my Twitch channel. You guys literally keep me going some days. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now for the last time for 2020. From my dark heart to yours, have a wonderful day, and please don't die before my next video.